Well, hello everyone. We'll get started about 9:05. I want to give everyone a chance to get in. Look at y'all, everybody's get the worm, huh? Hello everyone, good evening. We're gonna get started in about 5 minutes. I'm gonna give everyone a chance to join the Zoom. There's still some people sitting in the waiting room. Y'all
Okay.
can talk to me. Ain't nobody gonna say good.
Good night.
Hey y'all.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well.
Good evening.
That's awesome. Good night. Who's gonna
Hey
be?
y'all.
Girl, you know we was waiting for you, girl.
Yes, yes, yes. We've been waiting. I've been waiting a while too.
Since 7 o'clock, I was on this thing.
Nice meeting you. You're doing
Nice to meet
awesome.
you guys too. I appreciate y'all giving me some of y'all's time this evening. Hey,
I
Miss
didn't want to miss this at all, so I've been on here for like the last few minutes, counting down, hoping that you'll come on because I don't want to miss this.
I know that's right.
I have a question though before you get into your program. My credit is okay, but I think I need to put in more work.
Okay, so I'm gonna help you put in more work, okay?
All right, thank you very much, and I will listen and I will turn my mic off.
All right. I think, hold on, we don't have nobody else in the waiting room. Let's see.
Key, when you record this session, are you going to share it with everyone?
The replay is,
Yes,
I've
ma'am.
been thinking about it, yes, but more than likely it'll be uploaded into my DIY course. So for anyone who got the offer when it signed up, the $27 offer, when you guys signed up, it'll be uploaded into their back office, more than likely, but I'm not sure yet.
Okay,
I,
thank you.
I might share it. I don't know. Okay, about 3 minutes. Yes, if you didn't get the offer, it is still available. Give me 1 second.
If you talking to us, we can't hear you.
She might be talking to someone at her home.
Sorry, y'all, I know I was muted. I was on the phone with my assistant. I needed her to. She's supposed to be in a Zoom call. She's here, but I know you guys were asking for the link to the DIY course, so I had her drop it in the chat. Listen, I'm not crazy, y'all. I knew y'all was on mute. Yeah, I did shut down. I got it. Okay, so if you are looking to get that offer, then the link will be available. All right, we got about 60 seconds and we're gonna get started. And whoever late, they just gonna have to catch it where we are when they join. Okay, it's 9:06. Let's go ahead and get started. It's a few people in the waiting room I'm about to let in, and then that will be it. Okay. Let's see, I'm gonna share my screen, and then we'll go ahead and get into it. Let me see. Okay, can everybody see my screen? I just want to make sure before we get started. Can everybody see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you. So we're gonna go over the top 3 reasons why most people never get to a 700 credit score. For anyone who is new here, I am Credit Coach Key. My first name is Keyvon. My last name is Baker, so I'm Keyvon Baker, but Credit Coach Key known by probably the majority of people in this room. Let's go. Those people in here. Why do I turn this waiting room off? Is really what I need to know because I should have been here all the time. All right, take it later. Okay. So, of course, who is Credit Coach Key? I'm your key to success. I specialize in making the credit and business world easy to understand so you can overcome the fear of being told no. I'm known for getting rapid results. So far, 25 of our clients have hit 700 plus credit scores within 120 days or less with our credit repair services. So this here on the side is just a testimonial from Ms. Catherine Jackson, who was a part of my program for 30 days, and these were her results. Okay, so today we're gonna go over the 3 roadblocks that keep most people stuck when it comes to maximizing their credit, and how you can overcome those obstacles starting as soon as today. So most people struggle with not knowing where to start, not knowing what to do next, and not knowing how to maintain it. If it's something on this list that you are struggling with, we're gonna solve that problem today. Can everybody please mute their mics? Everybody mute. Okay, so not knowing where to start. A lot of you guys don't know where to start because you just simply don't know anything about credit in general. Mainly because it's not something that's actually taught in schools or by our parents. It's something that you really are directed to figure out yourself. So knowledge is power. And when you understand the components of your credit score and the importance of knowing your financial history, you can then take control of your situation. Goodness gracious. Can y'all see when those Zoom messages popping up on the screen? Is it interrupting the presentation?
No.
No.
Okay. Okay, and then going into not knowing what to do next. Disputing with precision, identifying inaccuracies in your credit report, effective dispute strategies, and navigating the dispute process. So we're gonna go over how to what's the best strategy when it comes to disputing items on your credit report, and then how to actually identify items that need to be disputed. And then consistency and patience. A lot of you guys have probably disputed things off your credit report and actually seen results, or you didn't get the results that you were looking for and you gave up. Sometimes items can be removed from 1 and not 2, or 2 and not 1, and we're in this space like, oh, we didn't get results when technically we did, which causes us to quit. So we're going to overcome that obstacle today as well. The value of consistent follow-ups after dispute makes a big difference in your credit repair process. Of course, avoiding the common pitfall of giving up too soon, and then knowing when you need to DIY versus when you need professional assistance. If you're just starting out, it's okay to DIY, but when you know you need help, it's time to tap into some help, especially if you have goals that you are trying to reach. So let's talk about the 5 essential factors of credit and determine your credit worthiness. What exactly is a credit score and what components make up a credit score? So you have payment history. Payment history is 35% of your credit score. It holds the most weight. I.e., why when you miss a payment on your credit card, or you miss a payment on your auto loan, or you miss a payment on your personal loan, or you miss a payment in general, you see a decrease of up to 100 points, maybe even more. Then you have the amount owed, which is your credit utilization, which ties into your credit card. This is something that can be corrected. So sometimes you guys think you need credit repair when you really don't, or you are struggling in the area that you really are not struggling in, and you simply just have to come up with some sort of strategy to pay off your credit cards. Utilization is one thing that can be fixed. If you have high credit card utilization 1 month, you can definitely change that around the next month and get those points back. Between 1 to 10% is ideal. 6% is the sweet spot when it comes to utilization. And we're going to go over tonight as well on how to pay your credit cards and what date that those cards should be paid on. And then accumulating new credit is 10% that goes over your credit card, your inquiries and things of that nature, which is why, inquiries don't really matter that much. honestly speaking. And then we're gonna talk about credit mix and length of credit. So credit age is something, your length of credit is 15%, but credit age is something that's definitely gonna come with time. It's no way around it. It's really no shortcut to credit age. It's no way to fix it. It's just gonna come with time. A lot of people get trade lines to assist them with credit age and just because they want to look at a certain score. But honestly, when it comes to the age of your accounts, it's something that's absolutely out of your control. It's the amount of time that you've had that particular line of credit. And then type of credit, just your credit mix, you at least need four accounts. You need at least 2 revolving credit cards, a short-term loan, and a long-term loan, which i.e. goes into those student loans that everybody wants to get rid of. But actually, student loans actually help you when it comes to your credit mix and things of that nature. So, as I touched on, payment history constitutes the largest part of your credit score. Is at 192.5, because you have 300 to you can either have a 300 credit score or you can have an 800 credit score. In between there is 550 points. If you do 35% times 550, you get 192. So when people say just pay your bills, 300 plus 192 does not give me an 800 credit score. So it's more to just pay your bills when it comes to credit. And I'm not gonna bore you out of death by reading the slides verbatim. If you want to, they're there for you if you're a visual person and you just want to read them. Then you have credit card utilization. As I stated, it's 30% of your credit scores. It makes up 30% of your credit profile, but this is something that is forgivable. It's a forgivable thing on your credit report. That's something that you actually have complete control over, along with the other factors that we're going to get into. But as far as credit card utilization, if 1 month you max that card out, if you can reflect something different on next month, you can get your points back easier than you could with anything else. So 30% is where your net balance needs to be on each card. So it's not dipping every month. So 30% keeps you stagnant. If you are not seeing an adjustment in your scores and you are at 30%, that's probably why. 30% keeps you stagnant. Your sweet spot is between 1 to 10%, and then 6% would be where you're gonna get all of your points. So how do you know exactly when to pay down your balances to hide your utilization and maximize your credit score? So, of course, we went through this. Utilization is 30% of your score. It holds 165 points. You're going to go, anybody who's watching me on their phone right now or on a laptop, I want you to go, if you have a credit card, I want you to log in, and you have online banking, I want you to log in. And so you can see a copy of your credit card statement. You should still be able to hear me if you click out. You should still be able to hear me, but I want everybody to take this step so everybody knows exactly when they need to pay their credit card. So it can help you when it comes to this utilization thing. Because a lot of you guys simply don't know what day to pay it. So if you are in, because I know you can't comment in the chat. So if you have went and pulled up your credit card statement, there is a statement date there and a due date, or it says billing cycle date or anything of that nature. Yes, Nisha. She had her hand raised. Oh, well. It's gonna say due date, statement date, payment date, billing cycle, the billing cycle end date. That is the billing cycle is when they actually close the cycle for the month and they start reporting to your credit. You want to make sure that your credit card utilization is between 1 to 10%, 30% at max. But 1 to 10% is where you want to be. 6% is the sweet spot by that date. Your due date, making that minimum payment, okay, that's cool. That's going to prevent you from getting a late payment, but you need to pay that card down. Does that make sense? I want to make sure we got it. So the due date is the date that your minimum payment is due. That's going to prevent you from getting a late payment. But your statement date is the actual date that they're going to report to your credit. Or when that billing cycle closed, whatever that billing cycle date is the date that that billing cycle closed. And whatever balance is left on your credit card is what's going to be reported.
Okay, so I'm sorry. So my statement says statement closing date. So that date is the date my credit card company is going to report.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay.
So now you know going forward that by that particular date, you can mark it on your calendar, whatever the case may be, whatever you need to do to remember it, that this is the date that they're going to report whatever balance is remaining on to my credit. Okay, so we already know that late payments are one of the worst things that can happen to your credit report, especially if it's something that happens just recent. If you can pay off the entire credit card balance and begin using it back as soon as it's available, that is ideal. This is why credit is called revolving credit. But let me tell you something. If you pay your credit card off and you use it again before that statement date, whatever balance that you use before that statement date is going to be reported. So I highly recommend that when you're making that payment, a lump sum payment, that you get credit for the payment that you're making, because a lot of people pay their credit cards, but they pay it on the wrong date, or they use it again after they pay it, and they don't actually get credit for the payment that they're making. So when you pay those credit cards, you want to make that payment on their credit card, and you do not want to use it again until that billing cycle closes. So we have the billing cycle date. So when your billing cycle closes, that's when you want to start using it again.
Excuse me, I have a question. Sorry. So I was looking at my credit for Capital One, and it says 30 days billing cycle, and then it just says August 19th to September 17th. So what day is the actual, is it like September 17th or?
The billing cycle end date is the 17th.
Oh, I was asking because it just says August 19th to September 17th. So the ending date, would that be the 17th?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. If that was the date that the billing cycle closed, it would be the 17th of the month going forward.
Okay, so you would try to pay it off on the 16th?
Yep, prior to that date.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, please, going forward, can we hold all questions until I'm finished, please? And then we have length of credit history. The length of credit history accounts for you've had credit account for as long as you've had credit accounts open. A longer credit history tends to have a positive impact on your score. You can get this through credit reporting, like rent reporting. You have Rental Karma, and then you have Rent Reporters. Those are two websites that you can use to report your rent. It doesn't necessarily matter if you have a mortgage now. You can go back as far as 4 years. So that is a good way to add credit age to your report. And then, of course, as I talked about at the beginning, authorized user or trade lines, which is you can go to TradeLineSupply.com to get trade lines, but it's just you piggybacking off of someone else's credit history. Honestly, that's what a trade line is. Most people use trade lines to offset credit card utilization or to add credit age, because if you're going through a home buying process, I'm not sure if they've started omitting trade lines altogether, but some people need a certain score when it comes to buying a home, and they use trade lines for that. So FYI, just in case anyone didn't know. And then you have credit mix. A healthy credit mix involves having a diverse range of credit types, such as credit cards, installment loans, and mortgages. A balanced mix shows creditors that you can handle different credit responsibilities. So I say you need at least 2 credit cards with a bank, not charge cards, not Macy's, not JCPenney, not cards that you can only use at one particular store. You need 2 revolving cards that you can use, 2 cards that you can use anywhere. Your installment loans is gonna be your again, student loans, your auto loan, personal loans, things of that nature. But personal loans would definitely go more into the short-term loan, and then of course your mortgage. And then new credit inquiries, every time you apply for a new line of credit, a hard inquiry is generated. So many inquiries in a short period of time may negatively impact your credit score. It's essential to be cautious when seeking new credit. And then I'll tell you how to remove hard inquiries in a few minutes. Honestly, it's fairly easy. But when it comes to new lines of credit, when you are constantly applying for new lines of credit, you look desperate for credit, which is going to cause you to get denied. So hard inquiries are not a major impact in your credit score, but it does play some factor in you getting denied a lines of credit. Because I don't know if any of you guys have recently applied for credit or have ever taken a look at your adverse action letter that they send you, which is actually the reason why you got denied. And sometimes it'll tell you because you have too many recently opened accounts. That means you just apply for credit too much. So they do look at that when it comes to obtaining new lines of credit. But if you are someone who has a lot of credit inquiries on your credit report, you can simply call TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian over the phone, get a member of the fraud department on the line, and advise them that you have unauthorized inquiries on your consumer report. You've already contacted the original creditor, and they've advised that they do not have any record of you, and you would like to move forward with removing those inquiries off your credit report. This is something that can be done over the phone. You don't have to send in a letter for this. You can just simply call them over the phone. Inquiries are probably the most easiest things to remove from your credit report. You don't have to pay anyone to remove them. You don't have to send a letter to remove them. You just got to talk to somebody. And the turnaround time is usually within, sometimes depending on the rep you get, you can get them removed right then and there, but it won't reflect for you to about 24 to 72 hours. If you get a rep that gives you a hard time on the phone, just call back. Don't go back and forth. Don't argue with them people. Just call back and get a different representative. Okay, so now we're going to touch on how to analyze your credit report. So first, you got to get a copy of your credit report. I personally prefer to use Identity IQ, just my credit monitoring of choice. It works for myself, it works for my clients, and that's just what I use when it comes to fixing my credit. And I just like Identity IQ. I feel like it's just easier than all the other credit monitoring apps outside of Experian, of course, when it comes to getting started with your credit repair process. So this is when you log into Identity IQ, it actually shows you your credit profile overview. So it tells you how many accounts you have in total, how many of them are open, how many of them are closed, how many of them are delinquent, how many of them are derogatory, how many of them are in collections, the total of all the balances, how much you're paying and making in payments, if you got public records, if you got inquiries. It tell you everything, just like any other credit monitoring service would tell you, but I feel like the breakdown individual is much better. So what is a positive account? Because sometimes we look at our credit report and we think something is actually hurting us when it is helping us. If you log into your credit report and you see all positive payment history and that account is showing is current, it's showing that it's giving you the credit age, the date open and all of that, has good credit age on it, things of that nature, leave that account alone. That account ain't do nothing to you. Leave it alone. Some of y'all with y'all student loan accounts look just like the one I got right here. And y'all be like, how I remove these student loans? Leave that account alone. It didn't do nothing to you. So this is what a positive account looks like. This is the gist of a positive account. If you have an account on your credit report and it looks just like this, leave it alone. Okay, and then we're gonna talk about a negative account. So the good thing about Identity IQ is that it has this like color coded thing with any derogatory remarks. So if anything else on your credit report shows anything other than green, you know that it is a derogatory remark. That's why that's one of the things I like about Identity IQ. So if it's showing black, it's showing yellow, it's showing red, or it's showing orange, when you go into Identity IQ, it need to go. If your payment history here is showing like in between here red and it's late payments and stuff like that, it needs to go. If the payment status shows collections or charge off, it needs to go. If the account status shows derogatory, it needs to go. If it's showing charged off as bad debt, it gotta go. Okay, so the accounts that we are, and then I'm gonna help you guys, of course, with late payments as well, because sometimes we'll try to go, and I'll say will because at a point in time I did this as well. Try to go remove or adjust late payments on closed accounts when in all actuality that account just needs to be removed in its entirety. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, nobody is going back to account that was closed years ago and just gonna update the late payments, because 9 times out of 10, that account is no longer in their office. So if you're trying to dispute late payments on closed accounts, you're wasting your time, especially if it's been there for a long time, because that account is probably long gone. Especially if it's in collections or charged off, or just closed with the company in general. And then your hard inquiries are located at the bottom. When we're looking at Identity IQ, it'll give you the list of inquiries and what credit bureau that inquiry is on. So it kind of helps you to know like which company pulls from which credit reporting agency, because if you see you have Capital One on Equifax, but it's not on TransUnion or Experian, you know that particular company pulls from that particular bureau. But Capital One pulls from all three. It just shows Equifax because it's not the full screenshot of all the inquiries. Or Ally Financial, or whatever the case may be. If it's only with one credit reporting agency or credit bureau, that means that particular company pulls from that agency. Just, to give y'all so y'all confused, know who pulls from where. And then, so now we're going to get into removing negative items from our credit report. So we've talked about the fundamentals of credit. We understand how to identify negative items on our credit report. We know what we are disputing and why we are disputing and how it displays on our report. Okay. Removing negative items from your credit report. Knowledge on consumer laws can empower you to rectify errors and remove negative items from your report, leading to improved scores. So we're going to talk about it. So Truth in Lending Act goes over the truth about lending lines of credit and extending auto loans. So if you have not tapped into 15 USC 1601 all the way up to, I stopped it personally at 1605 because those sections told me everything I need to know. And then if you definitely are not into the FCRA, I would definitely get into the FCRA at the end of FDCPA. As you guys may or may not know, I am a former debt collector. I was a debt collector for 4 years, and I constantly always tell you guys different tips, tricks, tools, and gems that goes on to the collection agency. I'm here to tell you that if you are calling in to the collection agency to fix your credit and you are making payments to them, that is not the solution. It does not solve your problem unless you negotiate pay for deletion. If you call them and you just make a payment to them and you do not negotiate pay for deletion, it just shows as a paid account on your credit report. Paid account is just as bad as a non-paid one because it still shows that you went to collections. So Truth in Lending Act ensures transparency in credit transactions, empowering consumers with accurate information about credit terms and costs. The Fair Credit Reporting Act 15, if y'all listen to me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, wherever, if you have my DIY course, this the one. 15 USC 1681 is a federal law that regulates how consumer credit information is collected, reported, and used. The purpose of the FCRA is to ensure that credit reporting agencies or the credit bureaus and creditors maintain accurate and fair credit reports and to protect consumers from the potential harm caused by inaccurate or misleading credit information. Can I show y'all something real quick? Let me show y'all something. Hold on. Let me get out this presentation after this, let me cook. What is the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act? The FDCPA government guidelines the debt collector's behavior, protecting you from harassment and ensuring fair debt collection practices. They also have UDAP as well, which is unfair, deceptive actions and practices of abusive acts with the collection agencies. If they call you and tell you they're an attorney and you know they're calling from a collection agency, that is a UDAP violation. They cannot make you think that they are someone outside of themselves. Because I know I had an instance where someone told me that debt collector advised them they was an attorney or something. They can threaten to garnish your wages over the phone. That is abusive acts and practices. They have a certain time when we're talking about Regulation F, which governs the collection agencies and debt collectors as well. They can't contact you more than 7 times within the 7-day time frame. And if they get you on the phone and you confirm your information and you actually talk to someone, they cannot call you again for 7 days unless you give them permission. So a lot of you guys are being violated and you don't even know you're being violated, but you just found out you've been violated. And it's $1,000 per violation. So let me show you something. Well, I'll go through the step-by-step process on how to do that after this. Because I get excited. I'm sorry, y'all. I do. I get really excited when I start talking about this stuff and I want to show y'all everything. But building your credit score to a 700 or higher, making on-time payments, keeping credit utilization low, limit new credit accounts, monitor credit report regularly, and maintain long-term credit relationships. The relationships you build with the banks are so important, and they so easy. It don't take long to build a relationship with the bank. It really doesn't. It only take about 30 days. Go open your account with them, put some money in savings, put some money in checking, let it sit for a few about 30 days, 30 to 45 days. Then set up your direct deposit. If you get direct deposit, if you only want a portion to go in that account, put like 10% in that account so you just got some direct deposit set up. And boom, you built the relationship. In 30 days, on the 31st day, you can apply for a line of credit. But you just can't open an account with a bank and think you finna go in their house and open their refrigerator. Because a guest can't come to your house and just walk in and just open your refrigerator. It's the same thing with the banks. You can't just open an account with the bank and then think in a couple of days you're going to be applying for lines of credit. Take them on a date first. That's where the direct deposit comes in. Okay, so now I'm about to make all of that make sense. Let me stop sharing my screen because I know that was a lot of information. I'm about to make it make sense though. So we went over 15 USC 1681. So I know y'all probably like, Key, you done told me the foundations, you done told me this, you done told me that. Okay, now what the heck I do with this information you just gave me? That's what y'all thinking, ain't it? It's okay, y'all can be honest. I know that's what y'all thinking.
Yes.
Yes.
I know it.
Yes, for me. We got to go to 1681, 15 USC 1681 permissible purpose of consumer goods.
My ADHD is over here like,
It's okay. It's okay. So we just went over the FDCPA and how to remove negative items and 15 USC, and I know that probably sound like Spanish and all of that. So I'm about to break it down. I ain't gonna go all the way deep dive into it. You're gonna be deep dive into it. I deep dive into it in my DIY course. But 15 USC 1681 goes over permissible purpose of consumer report. So your credit report is also known consumer report. That's why if you hear me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, I'm always talking about consumer report, or I may say consumer reporting agencies. I don't call them credit bureaus because in the FCRA, they're not identified as a credit bureau. There's only two bureaus, the FBI and the CFPB. They use that term credit. I don't even know how that term came about, credit bureau, to give them more power than what they really have. But it's just the person who created the LLC, opened the business, and decided to do this particular thing. Why, I do not know, but clearly it's making a lot of money. So we gonna subject to subsection. Hold on, let me say this disclaimer first, because I don't want nobody thinking I'm not an attorney. This is not legal advice, and I'm not telling you to take this and go cuss them, call them, and cussing them out, talking about they breaking the law. That's not what this is for. This is for educational and informational purposes only. So now that we got that out the way, subject to subsection C, any consumer reporting agency may furnish a consumer report under the following circumstances and no other. So that means you must hit every single bullet point here before you can even create a consumer report and report anything on that consumer report. And the second line, we're gonna skip number one because we don't care. The second line states, in accordance with the written instructions of the consumer to whom it relates. So to me, that means if I did not give you written instructions, written consent, you cannot create a consumer report, which is your credit report. I didn't give you, of course, we don't want to go in and we don't want them to remove our positive account because we need our positive accounts. But I don't know about you, but I know about me. And I know I did never write a letter or give them any consent to personally reporting anything on my credit report. I didn't give you consent to do this. I didn't give you no written instruction. And just because you fill out an application doesn't mean it's consent. So let's get that question out the way first. Just because you filled out an application does not mean you gave them consent. So what you're gonna do? No consent equals identity theft. You're a victim of identity theft. All 79 of y'all are a victim of identity theft. Somebody don't have to steal your wallet, don't have to steal your purse for you to be a victim of identity theft. The credit reporting agency stole your information. So how they didn't steal your identity? They stole your information. When they gather all your they communicate with the secondary reporting agency and gather all your information and put it on a credit report. How did they get that? How did they get your social? How did they get your name? How did they know where you live at? How do they know all this information? How? And you didn't give it to them. So you're a victim of identity theft. So now I'm going to show you where to go to report that. It gets deep, y'all. Let's go. We're going to solve the problem of not knowing today. You're going to go to identitytheft.gov and you're going to report they behinds. You don't have to create an account. We report an identity theft. You're going to get started. And every single company that's on your credit report, whether it's credit card accounts, loan leases, whatever whichever the largest account falls under is this category I would select, and you're going to get to filling out that information and you're going to get to reporting it. And you're going to use that as leverage when it comes to your dispute process, when it comes to you sending them letters, and it comes to you dispute negative items on your credit report. You're going to use your identity theft report to get those items removed. In your letter, you're going to quote 15 USC 1681 and let them know how and why you know you are a victim of identity theft. Okay, so now we not finished. We not done yet. I'm excited. Y'all not excited? So excited. I don't know what's going on with y'all, but y'all is not giving me excitement.
We excited. We just trying to process. We process.
It gotta sink in
We
first.
here, we listening.
It gotta sink in first. Let it
No,
marinate. Okay.
I am excited because I'm ready to do this. I'm like, okay, I done spent $27, so I'm ready to go ahead, get my letters off today. You know, I got the little app from Word downloaded on my iPad, so I'm ready. Like, I just need to know how to do it.
I know that's right. Okay, so now I want to share something else with you guys. Oh wait, what is going on here? Mhm. Okay, so now I want to share with you how I can help people like you take their credit and income to the next level. So we went over how to fix our credit. Now we need to know, okay, what we're gonna do with it. So I have put together a 8-week group mentorship where I'll be holding your hand when it comes to fixing your credit, but I'll also be holding your hand when it comes to building your business as well. What you can expect to learn through this 8-week mentorship: the foundation of business, which is mastering the art of credit, discovering proven techniques, and removing negative items from your credit report for good without making payment. You'll learn business management, how to master the tools and systems that I personally use to automate my business for seamless operation. You're gonna learn how to elevate your business, learn how I transformed my business and was able to scale my business to 6 figures using AI. And then you're gonna tap into your full potential, because a lot of you guys just don't feel like you can do it when you really can. Because if I can do it, you can do it. Gonna unlock your potential, discover how to effectively leverage 8 weeks of knowledge to get profitable results. Now here's a few testimonials that I have on the sideline. This is Miss Nisha. She was one of my clients. On Labor Day, she sent me a message and let me know she was approved for a 10K credit card. Ooh, it be so much. I get so excited, but I be so emotional because it's just a little crazy sometimes. She want to buy me a Lambo, and I'm gonna hold her to it too. Nisha, you ain't here because girl, I need that Lamborghini and I want it orange. And then we have Mr. Willie. He was actually a part of my program for 60 days, and these are his results. And then, of course, here's a couple of testimonials that I get when I go live. Just going over talking about how I helped them. This is Mr. Lamar, just, appreciating everything that I've done for him. And then Miss Diamond, just expressing that I've helped her a lot, and how she really appreciates me. It's just so much love I get. It's just so amazing. And then a testimonial from Mr. Willie, advising it was how his credit was and how my services are legit and how due diligent I am. Of course, credit repair is not an overnight process. Miss Renita Kinney advising how much value she's received from me just with free information and how she feel like the Lord has blessed her with me. Oh, I just love y'all. The love is so real. Miss Larry, she was able to purchase a vehicle, a vehicle for herself and her business, after she fixed her credit. And then she just recently moved into a new home. Mr. Freddie was able to obtain a $10,000 credit card. We got Miss Trinice, who went through my DIY course and was able to see results fairly quickly. And then we have my client, Miss plant girl here, who just advised how, went through how she felt, how my services were and how we helped her. And she just was not ready to leave us yet. Then we have Miss Gigi Jordan, who's just expressing how she was able to get her negative items deleted. Then Miss Ponder, who received a 63-point increase within 30 days. And it just goes on and on, y'all. But the big thing is the 6-figure business blueprint. Transform your income with my 6-figure business blueprint today. We have $1,800 days, $1,800 days. I've been able to make 6 figures in the last 10 months with the information that I have gathered, I have learned, I have applied to my business, and I want to be able to help someone else do the same. I was blocked out of Stripe for my first month in business, so that data was not able to be collected. But of course, if I can help you avoid that obstacle, that's just a blessing within itself. It's taken me almost 4 years to be able to master the credit game, and I want to be able to take my knowledge to the next level and help other people, especially people who are in the service-based industry, because it's kind of hard going digital. It really is. So, with that being said, I'm going to open the comment section. Not the comment section. I'm going to open it for you guys to ask questions. Also, anyone who enrolls today will also receive the DIY course for free. So if you are someone because yourself, you're going to be your first anything. If any trials, tribulations, you must practice them on yourself before you can start, teaching other people. And the business bootcamp is not just for credit repair. If you are a coach or a consultant and you're looking to scale and build a 6-figure empire, is for you. But if you are someone who's looking for overnight results and not willing to put in the work or trying to get out of a financial crisis, unfortunately, that will not be the program for you. Do everybody in here get the 8-week mentorship? No. The price for the mentorship is $5,000. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat for anyone who wants to join. Even if you just scroll through and just look at the testimonials, that's perfectly okay. But for anyone who is looking to take their business to the next level, it's for them. So let me stop my share. And then we will open it for questions. I won't be here long for questions. It's 9:50, so we'll do questions to about 10:15. And then we'll get off it. Well, no, not about 10:50. Yeah, about 25 minutes. Nope, that's too long. 10:05.
Can I go first?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, it's Jazz, by the way.
Hey, Jazz.
Hey, girl. So I have a card that was canceled, or closed. And I was wondering if I could request for the actual credit card company. It's Credit One. If I could request the pay to delete, or is that only for like the collection agency?
Okay, so you have a credit card that is closed. It has a balance. You want to pay it off, but you're asking me, should you ask them for a pay for deletion when you do pay it off?
Yes.
Honestly, you want what I would do, or because I'm gonna tell you not to pay it. If I'm being honest, I wouldn't pay it because more than likely, when you start disputing the way that I just told you how to, they're gonna zero out the balance anyway.
Interesting, because I didn't want to pay anything.
Most times, they're going to zero the balance out.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll start there. I'm gonna, pay the little monthly, the minimums, until I get it off my credit. But I was just wondering. But thank you.
Hold on, wait. It's open?
No, it's not open, but it's closed, but I still have a balance. So they were telling me, they're blowing my phone up, like you said, they're not allowed to do. So I make sure I make my minimum payment on it still to avoid them having to call me a million times. But it is closed.
They done pressures you into the corners.
Yes, I know what to do.
What you're telling me. That impression, yeah, you can't always refuse to make payments. You're not obligated to make payments. When you start making payments, you're incriminating yourself, basically saying, okay, this is mine. If you notice anything that you receive in regards to collections or anything, they give you 30 days before to dispute before they assume that the debt belongs to you. It's all an assumption.
So I thought if I didn't make those payments, that the late payments would end up reflected on my credit, even though it's closed.
It's already reflected. It's a closed account. It's already hurting you.
Okay, so
So
the late
you making payments is not helping.
okay.
It's just preventing. It's just giving them money and it's bringing down the balance, but it's not helping you on the credit side at all.
Okay, got you. Thank you.
Welcome, Jennifer.
Oh, sorry.
Hold on. Yeah, Jennifer. If you have questions, please raise your hand and then I'll call. It's easier for me to go do it that way instead of everybody just getting into a shouting match.
Hi, Key. I've been on a few of your videos and you've talked about that rent karma. Could you elaborate just a little bit more how we as the tenant are able to go back 4 months? Do we have we give the landlord's name and then they confirm it with the landlord, or we're actually reporting that we're paying it?
So you're making a monthly payment to Rental Karma and then they're going to pull your rental history once you give them all your personal information. So you're making a monthly payment to Rental Karma to report your rental history on your credit report.
Okay.
But you're going to give them, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying you're going to give them all the information that they need to be able to do so. And then they'll confirm it with your landlord.
Okay, gotcha. And then you had mentioned Rental Karma and another, but I didn't catch the other name. Could you give me the other name as well?
Rent Reporters.
Rent Reporters. Okay, thank you, dear.
You're welcome. And yeah, it's 4 years, not 4 months. It goes back 4 years, up to 4 years.
Okay, thank you.
With Rental Karma. You're welcome. Miss Marissa. Marissa.
Sorry, of course my mouse won't drop as soon as I But I was in your live the other night and you said, and I said that I literally don't have a credit card. I don't have personal loans, credit loans, payday loans. I don't do any of that. The only reason why I have credit right now is because of my student loans, because I'm currently in school. And like I'm knocking on 30, so of course I'm like, I need to buy a house. I mean, my husband, like, we need to buy a house, but we just never believed in buying something if we didn't have the money for it. So that's how I am at this point. And I know you said that at some point I would have to get a credit card. So what advice would you give me when it comes to building credit? Because my credit is high, but it's not where it needs to be.
When it comes, because if you don't have a credit card, you're missing out on 165 points. Because you can't get that category, you can't get any points in that category because you don't have anything to show for that category. So I would definitely start off with a secured credit card. I suggest going through your bank first. I started off with a secured card with Navy Federal. So if you have credit unions in your area, that's a good place to start. But you have Capital One, Discover, just different companies that offer secure lines of credit. So I definitely would start with secure credit card. So I definitely would start there.
Okay. And then I had another question because the other way I got my credit score up was using like Self and Bridget and Kickoff. Would
Yeah,
you?
your credit builders, yes, most definitely.
Okay. Okay. So still keep doing those, even though I'm still going to get a credit card as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, Kia.
So your credit, just to elaborate on that, your credit builders are just lines of credit that you're going to be able to obtain without getting an inquiry. Your credit cards are lines of credit that's going to require a hard inquiry in order for that to be reported.
Ah, thank you for telling me that. That makes sense.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bianca.
Hi, Key. I have a question. I have a Credit One credit card, and I regret getting one because I don't like it. It doesn't work most of the time, and I don't like it. Should I pay off the balance that I have, which is half of my limit, and close it or what should I do?
Whatever you do, don't close it. So I would pay it off and put something small on it, like a monthly subscription, like Hulu, Netflix, Apple Music, something small, just so you show some type of activity on it, but you definitely don't want to close it because if you close that account, it's gonna hurt you more than not using it at all. So just put something small on it or use it for something like gas and pay it right back because it's not a card that you actually favor and do it that way, but don't close it.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bella?
Hey, so good night. So I had started with your DIY thingy, and the first thing I did was update my personal information, and that came back good. And I did my first round, but out of the 3 that I sent, all 3 came back as verified. So I'm at my next step where I just keep sending the same letters out, or like.
No, in the DIY course is tons of letters there. So I definitely want to continue to use the same letter over and over again. And I also walk you through the step as well with that course on filing the CFPB complaint. So have you done that?
I just learned about that. The other thing I'm not sure where I got it from, but I was like watching other videos and people were saying like the LexisNexis stuff Innovis stuff about like freezing or opting out, but I don't know much about it and I've been researching it because
if you have the DIY course, everything is in there.
Okay, good. So I'll go ahead and do that. But my concern is when you opt out or freeze stuff, when you're ready to apply for stuff, do you unfreeze it? Is that how that works?
No, they stay frozen. They're the secondary reporting agency just collect your public information and report it to TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. So there's no need to go back and unfreeze them unless you have frozen check systems. Now, if you have frozen check systems and early warning systems is what the banks use when it's time for you to open an account. So you must go back and unfreeze check systems, but all the other ones, no.
Okay, perfect. All right, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Let me see who's next. I don't see anyone else's hand raised. Hold on. Sorry. Oh, yes, I do. I'm sorry. Kimberly.
Yeah, I wanted to ask 2 questions. Because I did request my check systems report. I didn't get it yet, of course. I know it's going to take a while, but I did it last week. But I do notice on one of the credit reports that I pulled from, I forgot which one, it's showing me checking account and demand deposit account activity. It said, and then it said unpaid DDA closures in the last 4 years, and then it gives the amount. Now, the amount I know is inaccurate because I knew for a fact I never pulled this amount out of any account. So how do I dispute that? Do I do it the same as the course? That's extremely high.
Yep, it's gonna be the same process. Like the identity theft process is gonna be the same.
Okay. And if they come back verified, do it the same in the course as well?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You follow everything to help to get you to where you need to be is in the course. Just follow the step-by-step videos. I promise you're gonna get the results you're looking for.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And if it's not in the course, you can comment in the Facebook group or you can send me an email, support at the Key to 700 Club, and I'll make you a video and upload it to the course, and it'll be available for you and anyone else who has the course to see.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'm sorry, I'm gonna butcher your name, Miss Smith. So I'll just say Miss Smith.
Sanika, it's okay.
Okay, Sanika.
Okay, sorry. So I just wanted to ask you, so if my payment due date is on the 6th and my billing cycle closes on the 17th, do I pay my payment maybe on the 5th or the 4th?
So your payment due date is the 6th, but the cycle ends on the 17th. I would pay my card on like the 15th.
On the 15th?
Yeah, just so you're not right at the deadline a few days before. And then, of course, let it sit until they actually report or until that statement actually closes and then use the card again.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Shell, we probably got one more question after this and then I'm gonna end the Zoom meeting.
Hi, good evening. My question is, I've been trying to do my credit report for the last 2 months. I just got a notification that one of the collections was removed off of one of the reports, but not the other two. How do I go about trying to get it removed from the other two credit bureaus?
The same way. It's gonna be the exact same process. So sometimes you guys have to understand that TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian are three separate companies. They do not communicate with each other. So that's why sometimes something to be removed off of one and not off of the others. So you just have to continue now to tackle that account with the other two.
The other two. Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. I see everybody else. I think somebody sent me Miss Stephanie sent me a message and said she had a question.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. I have two questions. Now, you stated something about hard inquiries and soft inquiries. Do we call about the hard and soft ones?
Well, no, I didn't mention soft inquiries. You might have misheard me. Soft inquiries don't impact your score. That's something that they're doing on the back end. That's something really only you can see. So soft inquiry is not a hard impact. That comes through like pre-approvals and things of that nature. When they said this will not impact your credit score, that is the soft pull. Your hard inquiries are the only ones that you're gonna call over the phone to remove.
Okay. So my next question is, you had mentioned the something about the FDCPA. And you mentioned 7 days. When it comes to contacting you, does that mean if they try to contact you, email, phone, or text within those 7 days, they violated?
Well, it's typically for phone calls, but that's for the new regulation that just came out, Regulation F. That's not in the FDCPA. So under Reg F, when I was in the collection agency, which was roughly a year ago, that's what it was. We couldn't contact you after we talked to you on the phone. We couldn't call you again for 7 days. So text and email is something that just recently came about when I was coming out of the industry. So I honestly don't know. I can't give you a direct answer on if that actually applies for those communications as well.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. All righty. So do we have any testimonials? Anyone want to share their experience tonight for the past hour with Key? Nobody? And that's something that you guys can just do free range. Jazz, I'm excited for you.
I have a question. Couple years ago, when I come to America and I was living in New York, and my mom told me to open a few credit cards. I did pay them off, but they're still on my credit.
Okay, so if they're paid off and they're still on your credit with no negative history attached to them, you want to keep them.
That is correct. Everything's paid off.
Yep, keep them there.
Keep
You
them
definitely
there.
don't. Yep, you don't want to remove those accounts.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome, Jazz.
Okay, testimony. I've been following you for a while, and one of the things that I remember you mentioning was the first thing that we should do is try to update all our personal information. So I've done that, and I have dealt with some not so pleasant reps, but I called, and most of everything, far as I got one name, one address, one phone number, one social security. So I really appreciate you, teaching me how to do that. And another thing now is what I'm working on now is something that I learned. I learned it from you, and is I was told that Experian is the the easiest compared to all the other two. Is that correct?
It's different for different people, honestly.
Oh, okay.
Everybody has a different experience with them. I feel like Experian was the absolute hardest for me. Equifax and TransUnion were a breeze. Even with my clients, I feel like Experian just don't like me. Just Experian just don't like me. I feel like Experian is always the hardest for myself and even for majority of my clients. But they get them results. But I definitely appreciate you for your testimonial and knowing that my work is not being done in vain. Knowing that when I'm on there giving out that information, that you guys are definitely going out to apply the information that I'm giving. It's a great feeling.
Yes, I want to give a testimonial.
Hold on, Miss Marissa. Hold on, Miss Marissa. Miss Jay had his hand raised and he's been sitting there when Stephanie started speaking.
So sorry.
It's okay. So you'll go next. Go ahead, Jay.
Yo, what up, Key? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hey, what's going on? I was supposed to put my testimony out a long time ago. So I want to apologize. I've been so busy, just really trying to get my life together. And but anyway, let me say this real quick. For everybody that's online, my name is Jay. I'm a proud customer of Key to 700. Before using this service, though, I was one of those people who didn't have no knowledge of credit or anything and how it impacted your life. But as I was getting denied left and right from dealerships, apartments, homes, loans, whatever you name it, I was getting denied from it. You know, and all because of my credit score and my credit profile. So one day, like, I decided to go online and start learning the fastest way I can repair like my credit. And then I saw Key and her business, Key to 700. She was doing a live posting testimonials. Like, you know, she has a picture in the background of the 700. I can't lie. First, I thought it was fake. I'm like, man, there's no way.
Oh, no.
30 days, 90 days, it's impossible. You know what I mean? I'm thinking it's fake. And then as she was doing the live, I'm seeing people in the chat, like, saying what she's done for them. And I'm like, wait, is this legit? But what really got me was the fact that you was telling people, hey, if you don't want to pay, if you don't have the money, because you said you understood everybody's financial situations are different. If you don't have the money, I'm telling you right now what to do, step by step, take this. And I'm like, oh, no, you really care about these people. So that's what really got me to make me trust in what you're saying, because it seemed like you were genuine and you really care. You weren't just in it for the money, you know? So I took that step, and look, I was at a 580, I think even lower than that. And in 30 days, she got me to it was a 740, and then I tried to go get a
Wow.
loan, and then it went down to a 720. But hey, you know what I mean? So she got me there in 30 days.
30
days. Yeah, yeah, 30 days. And now it's at a 740 right now. It's back at a 740. I don't know what she did. I don't care what she did. She did it. You know what I mean? And it's amazing, Key. I want to say thank you. You really are about to change my life. So in a positive way, I've been waiting for something I can use to help my family. So I really appreciate you. God bless you. Everybody who's on here, please, just whatever information she's giving out, take it, apply it. If you don't have the money to just join her business, just listen to everything she's saying and apply it, because it's gonna work. Trust me, I'm not no fake. I promise. In 30 days, she got me this. Not saying it may happen for 30 days for you, but I guarantee 90 days something. She's gonna impact your life in a way. So, Key, again, thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you, Jay.
Wonderful.
It's
Oh,
amazing.
God.
It's amazing to know that you went from watching people say that was their transformation to actually taking the step and it being your transformation. Of course, I don't know. As I stated in the beginning, 25 of my clients have hit 700 credit scores in 120 days or less. I've had some people finish in 30 days. I've had some people finish in 60 days. I've had some people come, take the whole 4 months. But As I say, I don't offer guarantees. I don't tell you guys that you're going to have a specific score within a certain time frame. I am the key to 700 because this is a partnership. It takes two of us. If you do everything that I tell you to do, you're going to get results. The only people who do not get results are the people who did not do what I told them to do. Verbatim. So yeah, I just want to let y'all know that. Is that everybody? But I do the only thing what I teach works. It's worked for a lot of people. It's worked for my clients, it's worked for myself, it's worked for people who just watch me on TikTok and get free information. It's worked for people who just consume my videos. It works. It works. I'm not just out here selling trash. Because some people, I'm sure some people be traumatized, and a lot of people come to me and still have the same story. I've been scammed. Oh my gosh, blah, blah, blah. But it works. It does. You're just more scared of the outcome that you're going to get when it does work than you are of it not working. Because if you only ask, what happens if this does not work? You're only going to get the answer to what happens if this does not work. So the same way I'm transforming lives with my Key to 700 4-month. It's a 4-month program, y'all. It's not a long period of time. It's 4 months. It's a 4-month program that has been able to transform lives for quite a number of people. Just they're not on this Zoom call. And then that's where the Key to 700 8-week mentorship comes into play as well, because I also have people who have businesses and are ready to take them to the next level. So let's go. But it's 10:15. I've been with you guys for 1 hour and 15 minutes. I greatly appreciate you guys dedicating your time to me tonight, because you could have been in the bed. I know it's Sunday. A lot of people got work tomorrow, the kids and all type of things. So I definitely thank you guys for dedicating your time for me. And I hope to see you guys on the inside. Good night, everyone. Good night, good night, good night. You're welcome.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Thanks.